It was supposed to be a respectful conversation between two presidents, but then Trump leaned into the mic and said three words that froze the entire room. "Sit down, boy." What happened next? Obama didn't yell. He didn't even flinch. And yet his quiet response flipped the power dynamic, shocked the crowd, and set the internet on fire. This is the story of the silence that shook a nation. Millions saw it live. A presidential form meant for unity exploded into something else. It began with just three words. Donald Trump leaned into the mic and said, "Sit down, boy." Gas rippled across the Phoenix Convention Center. The kind of collective intake of breath that freezes time. Some smirked, some looked away, others clenched their fists. But Obama, he didn't raise an eyebrow, didn't speak. He straightened his jacket slowly, and for 10 long seconds, he said nothing. But that silence said everything. It flipped the entire room. The forum had been designed for bipartisan dialogue. Two presidents, one current, one former, discussing the future of America. But that moment shattered the script. "Sit down, boy." The word wasn't just condescending. It echoed with generations of racial weight, power imbalance, and coded dominance. Across the room, reactions varied. A pastor in the front row shook his head slowly. A college student hit record on his phone. A woman clutched her pearls like trying to steady her heartbeat. But the loudest part of that moment was the silence. Obama sat calm, composed, not defensive, not rattled, just still. He took a sip of water, straightened his tie, let the weight of the moment hang there like thick fog you could cut with a knife. The crowd shifted in their seats, not because he said anything, but because he hadn't. And that restraint, it was power. Trump leaned back in his seat, smirking. What? No response. He baited him again, louder, irritated. Still, Obama didn't flinch. Then, finally, he leaned toward the mic and said calmly, "I'll respond." And the room changed. "I've been called a lot of things in my life," he continued, "but respect has never been something I had to beg for." The crowd erupted. Applause thundered. Phones flew up. People stood clapping until their hands turned red. Trump rolled his eyes. "Don't lecture me about respect, Barack. I'm the President of the United States." Obama turned toward him, not with fury, but something sharper. "Patience. Yes, you are. And that's exactly why every word you speak carries weight. The title doesn't make you bigger than the people you serve. It reminds you to carry yourself in a way worthy of their trust." Another explosion of applause, whistles, cheers. A woman in a red blazer stood up and shouted, "Say that again." Obama. "Electric. We teach our children that the measure of a person isn't how much power they can grab. It's how they use the power they've been given. We tell them to be fair, to be honest, to lift others up. That's not complicated. That's leadership." Trump cut in again. "Oh, please. You think lectures make you great? People didn't elect me to give sermons. They elected me to fight." Obama turned to him directly. "You're right. They didn't elect you to give sermons, but they did elect you to lead. And there's a difference. Fighting for yourself isn't leadership. Fighting for people who don't look like you, don't pray like you, don't agree with you, that's leadership." Even some Republicans in the audience clapped. The cameras caught faces, a veteran nodding, a student wiping away a tear, and then Obama leaned in softer this time. "You see, Mr. President, the most powerful thing a leader can say isn't sit down, it's stand up with me." The applause that followed shook the walls. It wasn't just a response. It was a redirection, and suddenly the narrative had shifted. Outside the convention center, media swarmed. Hashtags trended, "Sit down, boy," "Stand up with me." Clips of Obama's reply racked up millions of views within hours. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter flooded with memes, commentary, and split reactions. One video showed Obama adjusting his jacket in silence. Another paired his calm stare with the caption, "Leadership doesn't yell, it teaches." Inside the White House, Trump fumed. "They're twisting it," he barked. "I didn't mean it like that." But his aides were panicking. Allies were struggling to spin it. "Even our base is split," one admitted. Meanwhile, in a Chicago hotel suite, Obama sat quietly. His team muted the television. Valerie Jarrett leaned forward. "You didn't just respond, you reminded people." David Plouffe glanced at his phone. "It's everywhere, globally trending. I haven't seen this kind of energy since, yes, we can." Obama shook his head. "Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm not running for anything. But maybe this moment reminded people what dignity looks like." Michelle finally spoke. "It mattered because kids are watching, families are watching. They need to see that composure still matters." Across America, the ripple effect took shape in classrooms. Teachers paused lessons to play the clip. A student asked, "Why did he call him boy?" The teacher took a deep breath. "That's why we're watching this." In churches, preachers quoted Obama's words from the pulpit. "Respect isn't optional, it's earned." On construction sites, factory floors, barber shops, the same debate unfolded. One man in Sacramento hung a banner in the school cafeteria. "Stand up with me." A pastor in Alabama thundered, "Dignity is not granted by office, it is shown by character." Late-night hosts joked. News anchors dissected. Historians reflected. But the people, they listen. Obama didn't tweet, didn't grandstand. He let the words and the silence speak. Trump, he doubled down. "Fake news, twisting my words," he tweeted. But polls showed something else. A majority of Americans, even a third of Republicans, said Obama had shown more dignity. Capitol Hill felt the tremor. Some Republicans tried to walk a tightrope, others stayed silent. But everyone knew that moment had landed. Because this wasn't just about two men, it was about us. How we lead, how we disagree, how we carry ourselves. And in that moment, with the cameras rolling, with a nation watching, Obama reminded us of something timeless. Leadership doesn't shout, it doesn't insult, it doesn't command respect, it earns it. So when the world tells you to sit down, maybe the most powerful thing you can say is, "Stand up with."